Hi and welcome to another video by Matthew Gaming Vids. In this video we're going to be on the third boss in Dragon Soul Raid, in the Looking for Raid Finder. To get to this boss, what you need to do is click on the bronze drake. This will fly you over to that monster again, but on the other side, and then drop you in it. Eventually you get a parachute and drop to near the portal. The trash here, and also the boss, all matters about what slime you kill first. Now, there are quite a few slimes, but the main order of what you should do on the boss is green, purple, and yellow. You need to kill one of them in that order. On the boss, they have 4.1 million HP, so you need to take them in that order. If there isn't any of them, which there shouldn't be, you should go for red, which should be there. The same thing here is that all the trash is the same monsters, and they do basically the same thing. As the trash is all the same, I'm going to be talking to you about the mechanics of this fight. So let me begin with, the tanks need to swap at 3 void bolts. This is because each void bolt deals 30k damage every about 10 seconds or 3 seconds, and 3 of them does 90k damage. So that would need to be dealt with by popping cooldowns and other things like that. Now the other thing it does is call some slimes to help him. What it does is cast the ability and then 3 slimes will spawn. It's completely random which one spawns, but they all have different abilities. The first slime we will talk about is the Yor'sahj slime, Glowing Global. What this does is when it hits the boss, it will make him hit everybody within range for 36,000 shadow damage and make him cast his abilities twice as fast. The next slime is called Cobalt Global, which what happens when this reaches the boss will make a mana void. This is the one what you always want to keep alive, as when the mana void dies, it will give everybody who's underneath it full mana back. For the next slime is called the Crimson Global, which is the red slime. What this does when it gets to the boss, it will make you take more damage the further away from the boss you are. This is why you always want to stack up on the boss once the slimes have reached the boss. The next slime we're going to talk about is called the Dark Global. This is the black one. When this reaches the boss, it will make loads of monsters called the Forgotten Ones. These will fixate on a random party member, so that's another reason why you need to stack in the middle for this part. These need to be AoE down as fast as possible. The next slime we're going to talk about is called the Shadowed Global, which is the purple slime. What this does when it reaches the boss is make every 5th healing ability cause 50,000 shadow damage to that player and everybody around that player. The last slime we're going to talk about is called the Acidic Global. This is the green one. Now, if this reaches the boss, you need to spread about because it inflicts 60,000 damage to that player and nearby people around him as well. I'll leave this one for last because this one should never reach the boss. If this reaches the boss in the raid finder, I would expect you to wipe, as this amount of damage would just wipe most groups. As we're still on the trash and I've explained all the boss mechanics in this fight, what I would like to say is please keep out of the middle, as if you do not, you will pull the boss and that will just wipe it for everybody. And once that's happened, quite a few people from the Looking for Raid will probably leave, as for some reason they just don't like dying. Also, I want to just add that I seem to have a brilliant group here, and later on when I ran this with about 2 to 5 guild members, we seem to have a change in player base by that time, and we nearly wiped on the first boss. Quite a few died. Second boss, we wiped twice, I think. And the third boss, which is this one I'm showing you right now, we must have wiped probably 3 times as well. Twice? 3 times? Well, we still wiped, but we really shouldn't have, because all the tactics are in the raid journal. Is it guide journal? And also, there's a lot of guys on YouTube, just like this one, explaining you what these do and how to combat and win the fight. This is a complete run through of Dragon Soul, so you'll see all of the trash and all of the bosses here, and including all the wipes we have on the trash or on the bosses, which I think lacks in the other guides, as most of the time the actual trash is higher than the bosses, and they just don't show you that. And then when you run into the trash and it kills your group, they're all like, "What the hell, man? We didn't expect it this hard." But in the looking for raid system, it's very much easier, and you shouldn't have any problems on the trash, unless somebody pulls the boss at the same time, which happened in this group. What you've got to remember when you're doing looking for raid system is that everybody's different, and some people might come into here knowing none of the tactics, and then some others might come in here knowing every single tactic that you will need. Now you have to work with the people who don't know the tactics at all and expect them not to know the tactics. So you need to explain them what to do, or else they're going to do it wrong and you might wipe, which nobody wants to do as it's just a waste of gold. So basically, one of the DPS here is going to shout out the colour of the slime we are going to attack, and then all the DPS are going to run over and attack that, and then run back into the middle. I promoted this person to assistant so they can do a raid warning. This will make people hear the noise of the raid warning and might make them run over there even quicker. But I did notice when I got to the slime and were attacking it from behind, some of the range was still attacking the boss, which you shouldn't do, as all this expansion is about tactics. Normally it doesn't matter about the DPS you output, it's all about the tactics you do, and that's how you beat the bosses. At that slime phase we should have gone for the green one, but unfortunately the person who said they knew the tactics didn't pick the right slime to go for. So we did take quite a bit of damage this time, but later on when I did it with the guild, I told them what to do and what slimes to go for in this phase, and it's a lot easier to use then. So basically from here, it's just rinse and repeat the 2 stages. There's the tank taunting stage and recovering from the slime, and then there's DPS in the slime phase, which really isn't that hard. All you need to do is shout and vent, or wherever using raid warning if you want to, and then DPS it down. It shouldn't be that hard. If you've got decent DPS, they'll DPS it down about halfway. But if DPS are tunnel visioning, they will just go straight on the boss, like we've got a few people doing here. But it shouldn't matter unless only 50% of your DPS decide not to go for it. I did this on the first day of the patch, that's why quite a lot of my add-ons aren't working, and the ones that are working might give me a few warnings and error messages along the way, so if you do see some of them, that's why. Most of them thankfully have been updated since then, and I'm running back with my full add-on list and a few more. You shouldn't really wipe on this boss, as really it's not that challenging, but you shouldn't expect a challenge from the Looking for Raid system. This system's been in place just to help the people who don't normally get to see their end raid bosses to be able to see them, so that the people who don't see them don't start thinking, why am I paying for this game? I don't get to see half of it. And that's basically why this has been put in. But I do like it, as it helps even people like me who do raid a bit, but not that much, to get to see their end bosses and maybe get some starter gear for this raid and this season tier. As you can see from the raid frames there, we've got a pretty good random group here, as nobody's died yet. And in the one I've just done right now, quite well, we wiped on here first time, but the second time it was perfectly fine, and nothing went wrong except for my DPS kept on wanting to DPS other slimes and kept on being annoying. But you seem to get that quite a lot with both looking for. This boss does have a range timer, but you really shouldn't be touching or even coming near it with the DPS that you should have in this place, as we're getting mostly, what is it, 20k plus. I can't really see, it's a small blurry screen on my side, but yeah, so we're doing very good, very good random group, and I'm wondering if it will be like this every reset day. As if it will be, then yeah, I'm gonna do this every reset, just for that extra bit of gear you might get. Also, a very extremely way to level your alts to get them a bit of gear so they can start running into HCs and stuff. Unless you're tanking, that is. And if you're tanking, you just need a bit more gear. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, favourite and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.